to this week's Mayhem.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm Jay.
And we're here to talk about the disappointing tale of a man called Kraven.
Kraven came out last week and it bombed the box office.
120%.
It's like Courtney told us what was going to happen before it even happened.
It's like I can predict the future, but he can't because it bombed. It's a sad tale of a man who's like a villainous Tarzan.
Did you start yours?
No. Yes.
Good. Yes. So Kraven totally did not do well this last week. It's just not doing good.
We can't really judge it because we haven't technically seen it.
No, but we've read every review known to man.
But I still don't think it can be worse than Madam Web.
No, I think you're right on that one. I think Madam Web really can't be topped with the amount of atrocity that it is.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm surprised Kraven did as bad as it did. I was really hoping that Sony would really knock it out of the park just for this last time.
Well, because
I'm giving it a bit of the doubt.
They casted really well.
Yeah.
And it's just a disappointing factor of how it just doesn't want to be what it should be.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that.
But it was one of those things where I didn't really expect, I wasn't going to go see it when it came out. I was already not ready for it. And it made me so mad to see that it tanked worse than I thought it would.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I thought it would at least do a little better, but I mean, apparently everything about it was just boo-boo nana.
Was it like sad? Wah, 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 wah. When you
literally raining fire.
The sign of like Pac-Man when he dies. There we go. I couldn't do that apparently.
I was missing a want somewhere in there.
Well, it's funny because I saw one of my friends this weekend, and she's not a big like superhero Marvel person. She's not a big like nerd like we are essentially.
What?
And
not as big as us? Are you?
And she was like, "Who's Kraven?" And I was like, "Well, the best way to describe it to her was a villainous Tarzan, and just a very smart one. And wasn't abandoned as a child and had no choice but become raised by apes.
It has slightly more monies.
Yes, but he chose that life willingly. But that was the best I could give her, and she was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "That's literally the best I can do because I don't know how to explain this weird creature to you."
Yeah, he's kind of an odd one because he's not. It's not like he's has a whole bunch of superpowers in general or anything of that nature. It's more of it just. He's a man who's good at hunting.
It's like he craves it.
Ha ha.
But yeah, so we will let you know
and not
more
the cereal.
Once we've... Well, I forgot that was a thing, the craves.
Yeah.
Are those like little things filled with chocolate?
Yeah.
I completely forgot about those. No, so we didn't quite see it yet, so we'll give a little bit more detail. But a good note is we are going to segue into a great franchise called Star Wars in a galaxy
far, far away.
Anyways, same concept as before. We'll do top 5 favorite movies and shows.
Yes.
Okay. And then top 5 least favorite movies and shows, because I feel like it's not as big of there's not as many, so we can narrow it down more.
Yeah, it can. I mean, I had a little bit of trouble with this one. I'm not going to lie to you. And, you know, the misses on this were not as... I wasn't struggling because there were so many that I didn't like. It was more of a struggling because I love them all so much that I was trying to find different points out of which ones that I didn't like.
I think mine's based off like potential.
Yeah.
They could have been so much more.
Could have been, but we're down here.
They were like you have top tier, like Iron Man 1, and then you have Sony.
Tell me which one you don't like more.
There's a great person named Sony, and they suck at filmmaking.
We are chaos today. I apologize. I gave her caffeine beforehand instead of after. It was not smart decisions.
I think it was a great time. I'm great. I'm like handing the squirrel from over the hedge, give him cookies. He's like, ah.
No, it's giving you an energy drink and you actually slow down.
I probably would. Knowing me, I'd be so panicked that it's going to stop my heart.
No, because the world would be going so fast, the world would slow down.
I could be Flash. You didn't see me, I just laughed.
Oh, no. That would be the worst superpower for you.
I feel like I'm Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. Did you see me do that? Nope, because I was too fast.
On that note, we're going to start with our loves. If you don't mind, I'm going to start first, kind of like how we've been kind of going.
How dare you continue the trend?
I'm telling you.
That was a good snap.
Oh!
No, I did that.
She snapped the first time, ladies and gentlemen.
That's Spider-Man.
Nope. I tried.
What would you do if I just like shot a web out of myself? I don't know what to do.
Panic. I would panic because I would be the first victim. Yes. Because you'd be how sticky is this?
like the Deadpool seatbelt mummy.
Yes, that's exactly what you do to me.
You'd be test subject.
Now who can't talk?
Always been me. You
I
just stutter. I literally just can't talk. You stutter knowing what you're saying. I'm just gonna be like,
Hi.
how?
All right, back on target. We're on track. It's here. We're here.
What is your favorite Star Wars ever?
Ever? Okay, I can't do like bam, 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 bam. But I can. I have a grouping.
Sad
I have a
face.
grouping that I like. Empire Strikes Back. I love Empire Strikes Back. I thought that was a great one. You know, just seeing the Force really being brought into it. God. I liked Phantom Menace a lot. Phantom Menace, you know, they bring in Darth Maul, which I love that fight scene. I think just seeing
It just has a lot of good scenes.
It does.
It's just kind of, it's one of those just like,
the darker feeling.
Yeah. It kind of keeps that, not aroma. Aurora? No. Scene.
Vibe.
Yeah.
It's very rounded,
Circle.
like a
Square.
globe.
Diamond.
Um,
That was
going on shows, I love Mando. I love Mandalorian. I think Jon Favreau did such a great job directing it. I think he did fantastic bringing in life.
Do you think he was happy to make it? Agreed. It's fantastic.
I can't even. I can't. My even's over there, and I can't even.
That's a good one. I never thought of using that. My even. My can't is here. My even is over there.
Oh, she's catching on, folks. God, the caffeine is strong. Okay, Clone Wars. Okay, so actually this one's a difficult one. So I have 6. You know, who would have thunk Jay would have more than that for likes. Clone Wars, the show.
Yeah.
I love Clone Wars, the show. I loved how they brought in Ahsoka, and I love how they brought in. I
They
just feel
brought
like
out
with
all the
cartoon,
characters you needed.
with animated shows, I feel like they could bring in more
Yeah.
to the party because they don't have to worry about the CGI. They don't have to worry about like the costumes and makeup and actors.
They can just go in detail that we don't get.
They can do the impossible.
Impossible.
And then Lego Star Wars. Love Lego.
Mm-hmm.
Love it when they turn things into Lego.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing them use the Force with their little
That hand's
Ooh,
already
it
floor.
shows me.
Their hand is floor shaped. Excuse me.
and the clicking of the plastic. You know, there's a little subtle nuances that Lego does that just crack me up. Especially, you know, how they do the droids.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. I love it.
Like walk.
Ugh, it's so stupid.
I just love all the only Lego series I don't like is the Ninjago.
I couldn't get into that either.
I couldn't get into it, but I love everything else Lego. Like
Oh, yeah.
movie-wise, I think they did really well, so I agree with that one. That's actually a good one that I don't think people would think of picking.
Well, Lego Masters Holiday Edition's out right now. Just fun little
So I
tidbit.
thought you were saying Lego on this one, but nope, that was...
No, I have a lot of Lego sets that I'm hoping to get next week, but we'll see.
Did you see the price of the Death Star? It's like $1,000.
Oh, I was thinking, did it drop?
No.
Because it's been
Yeah.
that next.
It's been so
that
hard.
and the Millennium Falcon, like the big ones.
Falcon. Yeah, the big one.
I know I can't say Millennium Falcon. It's Falcon. I apologize. I have problems.
No, the Death Star that's outrageous.
That would be incredible.
I'm
Anybody
surprised
want
it
to
wasn't-
give me that? I will put it together while watching the movies and shows.
I'm surprised that it wasn't. Honestly, I think what I should have said is I was surprised it wasn't more.
I would say dressed as a stormtrooper, but I couldn't see out of that mask.
Just trying
And could you imagine just the plastic trying to like put those things together? I would be so pissed.
you could be a Lego stormtrooper putting together Lego.
Have you seen people cosplay like that?
Yes, it's impressive.
I know. I'm like, how uncomfortable is it? Because that'd be kind of cool.
I saw a lot of when I did the Disney Star Wars race. I saw a
Yeah.
lot of people do that actually. They did either.
Oh my god, can you imagine running with boxes?
Yeah, they would do.
Whoa.
I saw a lot of the Legos, and then I saw a lot of people dressed as the Mandalorian as princesses and like characters,
Yeah,
which
I've
is
seen
really
that.
cool.
I've seen that. That and then the Mandalorian Buzz Lightyear combo.
Yeah, that one's.
That's probably one of
that
my
one's
like
pretty
top
cool.
notch.
It's a good crossover.
It is. It is.
Um,
What are your loves? What are your loves on shows, movies, all things Star Wars?
I could tell you my top 2 instantly is Clone Wars the show.
Uh-huh.
I love Clone Wars the show.
Uh-huh.
And Ahsoka. Ahsoka is one of my favorites.
Did I say Bad Batch in this?
No, and I was wondering if that's what you replaced it with.
No.
There you go.
I'm so sorry, folks. I did not mean to interrupt you. I was looking down on my list and I was like,
I
did
thought
I
you
say
put
Bad
Legos-
Batch?
I thought you put Lego Star Wars instead.
No.
My bad.
No, as much as I love Lego Star Wars, Bad Batch tops it off. I
Yeah,
mean,
I was
phenomenal.
curious. The best part of this thing with her liking Bad Batch is she thought there was only one season.
Yes, because I failed to look.
But the good news is you still loved it from the first season.
Just from the first season. I love Wrecker so much. His chaos and his just, I'm here through that wall, but I'm here.
Imagine that. You like destructive characters.
Rada.
But yes, Bad Batch is, it continued on and it's very good.
Yes. Okay, now I'm done. Your turn.
Clone Wars and Ahsoka are my top two. I love Ahsoka. I love Clone Wars, but I also just love
Ahsoka.
Because they're the characters from Clone Wars.
For sure.
So definitely, those are my top two shows over any of the movies, including.
Wow.
As far as like in there, I love Mandalorian. I loved, and it made me really sad because Mandalorians as a whole, but I was really sad Boba Fett in
The Book of Boba Fett?
The Book of Boba Fett didn't do better.
I know.
I was really excited for that one because Boba Fett's the reason I started like the Mandalorians.
See.
You can't not love Grogu.
You can't not love Grogu.
I love baby Grogu. And I love that they kept his name a secret for so long. I thought that was a cool little thing that they did.
I love that.
Although it started the controversy over Baby Yoda, but technically he was a baby of that species.
The species, but not Yoda himself.
But it was pretty funny how that goes. And then Bad Batch is one of my tops. I love Bad Batch. It was, I just love
Stormtroopers.
Yeah, Bad Batch was just a good one.
It was, and it's a really cool storyline, you know, of finding these troopers that were not for killing the children, not
and it goes
executing
more in depth on
66.
that stuff.
It
and that's
does.
where we like the backgrounds of the stories. I honestly loved Bad Batch from the first episode.
Yes.
I just couldn't stand the little child.
Omega is,
Yeah,
but I understand that they have to put, you
Yeah.
know, a troublemaker in there. They have to put someone that's going to be a eventual greatness.
Yeah, but it's annoying characters where I don't like them. But overall, it made me still love Bad
And
Batch.
it's the fact that she knew she wasn't supposed to do things, and yet she
would still
continued to do it.
It's a difference between Grogu doing it and her doing it. Grogu doesn't know any better.
She has to be a damsel in distress and saved.
Yes.
Which is, look.
Yeah, my favorite movie is Phantom Menace.
For sure.
I definitely enjoy it. I think that's because it just did so good on the sequencing. I think that's definitely I like that trio, but Phantom Menace is my favorite out of those. So that's curious as to what your least favorite are.
I only have 4.
Same.
And it's hard. So, top, bottom 4.
One of mine's controversial though.
Top, bottom 4.
Bottom. Top. Bottom? Well, I guess that's bop.
Bottom.
It's a bop. That's a bop.
Lord. Okay, so most of mine is a lot of the newer stuff. Like, I can't stand, and this is going to be a hard one, and I'm so sorry, but it's not that I don't like the movie, it's the fact that I don't like certain parts of the movie.
Yeah.
Rise of the Skywalker.
It's too squished.
It's too squished. I don't like how
The
they
whole
have to have
series is too
the
squished.
romance in it. I don't understand why Rey and Kylo Ren had to have a affectionate love scene in it. Not needed.
I could see them having a sympathetic relationship to each other.
Yeah.
But they didn't. I don't think they needed to go the extra step to make it a romantic interest. And I feel like if they were,
Agreed.
it shouldn't have been there.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I could agree completely. You know, so that's Rise of Skywalker. Last Jedi, I wasn't a big fan of because I feel like they squished everything in. Like you just said, they just compacted everything in together. And they just... Also, you know, kind of goes on a part that I know that we're going to touch on, but Leia and finally using the Force, but there, out of all places.
Feelings about Leia.
But, you know, Carrie Fisher's last stance, love her to death for that, you know, thank you for coming back.
Literally.
And Rogue One. I wasn't
immediately.
Rogue One was good. It wasn't my favorite. It's why
Yeah.
it's on my bottom. It's we know what's gonna happen. Yes, but at the same time, you know, besides having one of my favorite characters, but you know that's, you know, besides the point
Oh,
of
the droid.
yeah, K2SO
Yeah.
is a good one. He's Alan Tudyk.
It's not like you're biased or anything.
I'm not biased. I'm not biased at all. I mean, and then the last one's Solo. I wasn't a big fan of Solo. I love Han Solo's character. I like him as the trio. I just wasn't a big fan of that backstory. I don't feel like it was necessary, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, it's nice to have a backstory, but I feel like they could have, again, done more with it.
And I love Harrison Ford as Han Solo. So seeing somebody
it's hard
else
to see
play
someone else
him
playing him.
was
Because I
hard.
like that actor. I
Especially-
didn't like him as Han Solo.
Yeah, and you also think about it. I know it's right before everything happened, but they already had Han Solo at
Yeah.
that age. You know, and it's
To do that at that time frame would have been perfect.
exactly, yeah. But those are my misses. I know I only have 4. I know I'm supposed to have 5, but I just
Well, we have about the same ones. I also did not like Solo, but the immediate reason why I didn't like Solo is because I'm so mad they didn't continue the story that they left off on.
true.
I loved that they were going to go into the whole Darth Maul situation, and they just didn't.
My man.
And it just makes me mad. And I feel like what's her face as that character, Emilia Clarke, could have done really well in that. She would have taken on
Yeah.
that franchise and done it because she did so well in Game of Thrones.
She
And
did very well.
She's done well in anything. Even though I hated Secret Invasions, I loved her.
Yeah, which we didn't touch on on shows last week,
Yeah.
but we physically couldn't.
Couldn't. It made me so mad. But I just love her as an actress, and she takes on any role that she takes. She does really well.
Yeah, I do
feel
agree.
like it
She's a
could
great
have been,
actress.
Yeah, I feel like they could have done so good with.
Very moldable.
It would have.
Moldable.
It could have been a cool side to
Like
see
a
her
snowman.
going into like a darker role.
For sure. No, it would have been really cool to see her as more of
Yeah.
a villain-esque. I do agree.
I didn't like Last Jedi. I feel like it was too much in one movie that could have been turned into more story. I like that they brought everyone back. I think that's a really cool thing that Star Wars has done, and that all the
yeah.
actors want to come back as those characters.
Yeah.
But it's hard because they had one storyline that they were going with, and they're like, let's just sprinkle these in there, and you can't do that.
No, yeah. I agree.
I liked Rogue One. I didn't like that I knew how it was going to end. It's hard because I like Andor. I like all these different shows, but you know how they're going to end because they're just side stories that they don't make it to where they can continue it in their own way. My last one's controversial. I didn't like A New Hope, but I don't like A New Hope because they severely underpowered Leia.
And that's kind of what I was saying with Last Jedi. I was why I
They
was
took
using
until The Last Jedi for her to use the Force. I get she goes on the council. I get she does all those things.
She does the political route, as her mom.
Follows her mom. But she could have been so much. They just made, again, it's a love interest. Again, I know everyone loves Han Solo and her. They shouldn't. But,
Kylo was the product.
huh?
Kylo was the product.
Yes, but it's hard because you could have had that, but at the same time, she still could have been so much cooler.
You know what would have been really cool? Because I know Luke and Leia are both on the good side. If they would have made Leia
The bad guy?
yes,
That would
like
have been pretty cool.
like followed her father's
Or be like the
footsteps,
betrayal?
kind of. Yeah, be the betrayal. And find out that she actually is honed in the Force, and her kyber crystal is actually
kinda like
red
a
because
magnet-
she's pissed because she,
Yeah.
was brought into a different life than her brother, and her brother was destined for greatness instead of her. When I don't know. I feel like they could have done something really badass with that.
They had like the triangle, they had everything else going on, and she could have been as cool as Han Solo and Luke. She
She could have been as cool as Padme.
Yeah, she could have
her
been
mom.
as cool. Her mom was.
Even though, the death was kind of a little BS, but it had to happen for
Yes.
Anakin to turn into the man.
But they could have. They have these female characters that could. They had. It's not like they would just been like out of nowhere them being strong.
For sure.
They are that. They have the ability, and I wish they would have been more. I love Rey. She could have been so much more. They could have taken her storyline and not turned it into that and made her such a cool character, which is definitely hard, and that's why people don't like Rey. Is because the story that they put her in like a lose-lose situation.
I agree with that. I mean, I think they could have done more with Rey.
Yeah.
I
I
think they
feel
could've
like
done
if they would have just focused on her and not everything else going on, she would have been a really cool,
Grab the damn lightsaber, stop being
yes,
a pansy
If
about
they-
it,
again,
and do something.
underpowered her, could have made her such a much more character than she
Yeah,
was.
I mean, she was by herself. She could have been training. She could have been something. She could have been, instead of just waiting for her family. I gotta wait for my family. I gotta wait for my family.
Yeah.
No, move.
Yes.
Go be the badass. Go fight for yourself. You're all alone. Make something.
So yes, that's why mine was controversial.
I agree.
It's hard. Top 5 characters. I feel like yours are probably going to be on the side of the red.
What would you make you think that at all?
Based on who I'm pretty sure your number 1 is, the only one that can beat out is a droid, but I don't think you would have put him first.
Yes, I love Darth.
What?
Darth Vader is out of the specific Darths. If we really want to be,
Which I'm surprised Vader beats out Maul for you.
I know, because if you go back to Maul's backstory, if you actually read in the graphic novels, but we're going based on shows, based on movies instead of that, I would choose Maul, but I love Darth, I love Anakin, so it's like playing into that and playing into, even though, you know, not cool to kill a whole bunch of kids, that kind of sucks.
It's my favorite meme to bring in, though.
Well, anytime I get Order 66, like when I'm at a restaurant or anything like that, I make a point out of it, and you've seen it. You've seen it, and no one understands around me, but, you know,
I'm just like,
it's funny. Because if there's always a child around, I'm like, all right,
take him out.
here we go.
Wah, 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 wah.
They told me to.
All right, so Darth Vader, get away from killing just little ones.
I'm not saying I would. I'm just saying.
That's good.
Well, you know,
That'd be a really bad way to admit your like fault.
that's how you find out I'm a serial killer. No, I'm kidding.
That'd be pretty cool.
No, that's way too much.
It's way too much effort.
Way too much effort. Way too many secrets to
No,
keep, and
it's
I
like-
can't keep things like that.
It's way too much effort of you having to talk to somebody.
Yes,
To
I
lure-
have to touch someone.
To lure them away to kill them.
I have to touch them. I don't want to touch them. I don't want them to touch me.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. I don't know where they've been. Gross.
No, me
Anyways,
too.
I get the ick from people. Droids. I love R2D2. Scream at me. Make me scream.
Most screaming droid as being your favorite as well. What? I love R2D2 and CP3O. They're like
They're banter together. They're
he's like running after him.
we are the duos. You know, you think about iconic duos in every sets. You know, we have Marvel. We've you know
Groot and Rocket. You know, I say Groot and Rocket, but I could also sing us being Drax and Mantis.
As much as I don't like Mantis.
They're like banter between.
In the shows, yeah, in the movies.
I brought you this elf.
R2 is just, you know, screaming down the hallway, smashing into things, shocking the shit out of people. I love it. I love how sassy he is, and he doesn't have to say anything except for, you know, very select few people know what he is actually beefing about.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of those are cuss words he's beefing.
So it's either darkness or sassy characters are your favorite.
Yes, very much, because then we go into Darth Maul or it's tied between Darth Maul and Boba. Boba Fett is amazing. He's just
He just
an
doesn't
assassin.
care.
And then Maul is just a grizzly. I just really like, and especially in the movies, I love Ray Park, and I've explained this before in several shows. Ray Park did a great job portraying Darth Maul. He did a great job with the fight scenes. I think Darth Maul is just such a powerhouse. And
I don't think you like Darth Maul.
not at all. Not at all. Number 4, Chewie. Speaking of sassy characters.
Sassy characters, yes.
Sassy characters you can't understand.
Just rah the entire time.
Big, furry, destroys things. Love it.
Can fly though.
Can fly. Great pilot. Does great things. I can appreciate. And then number 5 is kind of a group because I can't just choose one of them. I love stormtroopers.
Yeah.
I love them so much because I can't aim for shit. They just spray and pray. They hope, and they're just so like.
Pew, 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 pew. Did I get it?
Everywhere.
You got our guy.
I got one.
I become the new favorite.
Does it count if a shy guy I shot somebody else?
Because you shot him?
Yeah.
That's the only way he made it?
Is it 2 birds with 1 stone?
I mean, if you're killing your friend, yeah, sure.
2 birds though.
Yeah. You're not wrong, but you're also not right. Let me shoot this guy to make sure he makes it. He got him though. What if that was like the way they all ended? Is like one of the stormtroopers shot each other. That's the only reason they didn't miss the most important characters. That'd be hysterical.
I'd be the guy behind like Vader actually like shoots him.
I'm sorry, it was there.
But he doesn't know, so I'm like pointing.
Points at Leia. It was her. She's just like, no.
My gun's smoking. Throws it.
Throws it at her face. She's dead too.
2 birds.
That'd be your 2 birds, 1 stone, not shooting your own stormtrooper. Was that 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm chaos today, guys. I'm sorry. We talk about Star Wars, and I'm like in a galaxy far, far away.
That's where our brains are right now. I'm on nowhere.
I'm on Tatooine.
2 sons. There's a influencer who painted her room to look like the
Oh
two
my
Tatooines.
god, she did such a
So
good job.
Loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, favorite character. Favorite character is Chopper. I love Chopper. He's like the reject droid that no one like wants,
Of course,
but everyone
of course,
loves.
Chopper.
I love Chopper. He's my favorite. He's like Moat from Wall-E.
Yep.
I do love Chopper. He's one of my favorites. Ahsoka. Ahsoka is definitely one of my favorite characters.
I can see it.
Both by the actress and just her as a whole character. Mine are all in the middle. Mine are like...
Yeah, they're not good or bad.
Impulsively, they go to one side.
Vigilante. That's the word I was looking for. By the by.
Cat eye sharp enough to kill a man. Boom. Sorry. Man, I think with you with the Stormtroopers, I love Mando, but I also love, I think Mandalorians as a whole. I think their story and their like whole, them as an aspect.
This is the way.
I love the whole Mandalorian storyline. So any of them I will take. Like there's not one I don't particularly like. I think it's really cool. I think them just as overall, and that they got their own series was what made me so excited.
Yeah, even though they had a pretty serious... It's crazy to think about their downfall, though, because, it's crazy to think of a warrior planet, warriors that are that strong
that
going down.
Yeah.
And that easily, I want to say, as well, which is kind of bananas.
Especially with how together they're so...
For sure.
Yeah. No, I'm happy that I think it's happy that they got to be rebuilt, though. That is a big thing, too. And that they show that rebuilding in Mandalorian was really cool. So I'm really excited for Mandalorian and Grogu. That might be, like, my top.
It sucks about them not being able to take off their helms.
Yeah.
And if they take off their helms, they're...
What if you just have to, like, itch your nose? What do you do? You gotta go find a place by yourself and...
Yeah.
I think it's cool that they did the whole... With the,
Sleeping would suck.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's true. Like, no. Doesn't matter. Anyways.
Puts pillowcase
I
on
like
top
that
of
they
head.
did do the helmet on and helmet on thing. Helmet off and helmet on. How they got to be really...
Yeah.
I do think that was a cool segue. I do think that was really cool. I do also love that Jack Black came in one of the episodes. That was... hysterical. You were not. I just don't think anyone was ready for it.
No, I agree.
But we also know how much of a nerd he is, so it was even better. Like, was that his lifelong dream? I'm in Star Wars.
Mine.
Yeah.
I could be in the worst Rotten Tomatoes anything of Star Wars, and I'd still be the proudest.
Just get Sony to make an episode. Sorry, Anakin. I love Anakin. I love him in Clone Wars. In the series. I love him
around the world.
I love him as overall. I know he turns bad. I know he does some bad things.
Oh, no.
But he's one of the characters I feel like we get a perfect start to finish.
Yeah.
I think
you get the whole package.
You see him starting the light side. You see him struggle. You see him train people. You see him have his pupils, and then you see
he has his daddy moment.
Yes, and but you get to feel the betrayal so much greater because they actually have him as a whole. They do full circle with him, and I love him. Before he kills the children and everybody else in the world, but
then James Earl Jones comes in and has the most amazing voice.
We got the meats. No Arby's. Okay. BB-8. I love his little flame. I love BB-8, and I think I love his dynamic between him and Rey because she has such a soft spot for him.
Yeah, she does. He
annoys everybody else, and she's just like...
She understands him, which is odd.
Yes, that is also pretty cool. I do love BB-8. He's one of my other favorite droids. He's just a little circle of doughiness. I love him.
He's cute. I like when he attaches himself. Hold on.
I love how he's but he's the droid. When you tell any other droid to do something, they'll do it, or they have their command sequence. He's just like, and they're go fly the ship. Okay. He's just one of those. He's
shit.
I'm here. Oh no, I shouldn't be here. I'm sorry. And runs away.
I'm gonna go.
There's a wall there.
Hey, careful, there's a wall.
We learned that last week with the light.
By the way, the light is fine, if anybody was wondering.
Did not die. Did not go through the wall. I'm awesome. But BB-8 is one of my favorites. Least favorite characters, I'm curious as to yours. I know one of them, but it makes me sad that he's one of yours.
Is it Finn?
No, he can be one of your top ones
I
for all time.
I can't stand Finn. I can't stand Finn for the sole fact of, I love stormtroopers, but why did you have to lie? Mm-hmm. I don't understand why that had to be the big point
They just dragged him out so much. He could have been a redeeming character, but they just didn't. He didn't do it.
I also just didn't I understand if you're a stormtrooper and you're coming into the world and because you're not gonna know normal civilianness. He pretty much was, but him coming out and just being that naive and trying to be conniving, or not cunning, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I couldn't stand him. I'm sorry. It's not even the actor's fault. It's just I didn't like
Yeah, because I like him in
That
other
girl.
things, but yeah, he
Yeah.
just.
Tarkin.
Yeah.
Can't stand Tarkin. Can't stand Tarkin.
Yeah, Tarkin's one of those characters you like forget about until you get told about him again. And you're like, oh yeah, I hated him.
Yeah, and just standing there like, ugh.
I have one of those.
Yeah. Captain Phasma.
Yeah.
Can't stand her.
No.
Can't stand her at all. I mean, she just
Annoying.
and useless.
Yes. Just a character that I feel like could have been without.
Yes, or could have been way better.
Yeah.
Count Dooku.
Does anyone actually like Count Dooku though?
I mean,
They play it so well, you just can't stand them.
it's just like how people don't like Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, I can't stand it. But
Yeah,
they
so
play
you
it
don't
so
like,
well
like
that
he
you
plays
just,
it.
yes.
Yeah, he plays the bad guy so well.
It's like with Umbridge from Harry Potter. You
Yes.
hate her so much, but it's because the actress played her so well.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
I feel like
They're like those.
yeah, except Count Dooku. I mean, like I love the actor. I love his deep, broody
Yeah.
voice that he has, and he played him very well. I just can't stand Count
It's
Dooku.
kind of like Mace. Mace is one people don't like because he did so good.
Yeah.
He's also
Yeah.
one of those characters who just like, be better.
He could have been better, and he
Yeah.
should have been better, especially in that fight against Anakin, which
Yeah.
we can get into that if you really want to, because
Yeah.
that was a BS fight. I think he should have, and especially because he not malice towards Anakin, but he just didn't have good feelings about him.
He
So
had a
why
reason
didn't
to
he
take him
actually?
down.
Yeah, and he didn't have to kill him. He didn't have to maim him. Just take his butt down, because you know that Mace Windu is one of the strongest, or was.
Take away his arms.
It's exactly what Anakin did. to
Make him a bob.
And then last one I didn't like is Jabba the Hutt.
He creeps me out. I just don't like worms.
I didn't like Jabba the Hutt at all. I agree.
Worms as characters.
I just
I
feel
like
like
earthworms.
I mean, I know that his lineage is the reason why he was, in part of badness or the kingpin. Of,
I just don't understand how we became. I know it's like a lineage thing. You're just like,
But
why?
how easy would it be to just go?
How did that species like win?
I don't know.
I like
Eat
that.
them.
Suffocate.
Boom.
Little arms. T-Rex arms.
I would take the downfall by his grouping shooting at me. Just take his butt out because he stunk so bad. Well,
I also just don't like characters portrayed as like gooey things. Like I didn't like the worm. Like he makes me think of the worm from SpongeBob. Like creepy one that like they're like in its mouth in the cave.
the
Anyways.
bullworm. Alaskan bullworm.
Yes, that one. I didn't like Gunray. He looks like Squidward. He's
Speaking
also
of
just an
SpongeBob.
annoying character.
Yeah.
It's just one of those where you're like,
He could have been better.
yeah.
Could have been better.
Captain Phasma, didn't like her. You said all the reasons. Jabba the Hutt,
Yeah.
worm.
Yeah. I'm kind of we're similar on the dislikes.
Iron Squidrom or whatever his name from Rebels. Really annoying character. There's like a group of them that I couldn't stand.
Oh.
That one, it made me not like Rebels because there was just like certain characters. I'm just like, you're annoying. Go away. Don't
Yeah.
be in it. And my last one's Leia.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of hit on why
Yeah.
she could have been better.
She could have been
Kind
better.
of makes sense, but
I
why
like-
don't you like her?
I just wish that she could have been so much better. I don't like how
Could have
weak
been
they make
cool.
her. She was her parents, her lineage did
Mm-hmm.
not leave way for her just to not have more about her.
No, I completely agree.
And that makes me so mad. I don't mind her overall, but
Yeah.
I wish that they could have done better. But I guess I could have put Emperor Palpatine. But again, it was another actor who played the character so well. You just don't like them.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like I said before, like it hurts that they made her so not a badass.
Mm-hmm.
Because
No.
she had the opportunity, but instead they chose Luke, and Luke did good.
You know who I'm surprised was not in your top least favorite characters? Jar Jar Binks.
It's because Jar Jar is not. I don't. It's not that I don't like Jar Jar.
Mm-hmm.
I love Jar Jar because he's so stupid.
I love how he talks, and that's why why people don't like him.
He's
though.
the Omega.
Yeah.
Of the
And
group.
like at the time with those prosthetics, though, he
Could you imagine
Gosh.
what Jon Favreau could have done to
with
Jar
him
Jar?
as a CGI character.
Do you think they would CGI him, or do you think they would do prosthetics? Like,
I think they probably
how do you
would've-
think they would the dots people?
I think they probably would have done both,
Yeah.
and that would have made it so much cooler. But it made me hate it that they gave him the actor himself wanted to quit acting because they were so aggressive towards him.
Me so sorry.
I know, But I do think they gave him a
Mouse over
trial
something.
again, and I think he got to be a character in Mandalorian as like an actual human this time, not to get as much hate. But it's kind of like with Hayden Christensen. Everyone hated him. And then
Don't know how you can hate
now
that
he's
man.
one of the most loved characters. He
Yeah.
came back to be in Star Wars because everyone's like, we love you. But at the same time, there's another one where people would be like, no, we just didn't like your character
Yeah,
because
it's
of
hard.
how it turns into.
Yeah.
But like, I don't see why Jar Jar gets all the hate.
I don't know. I honestly,
I
like,
love him.
I mean, but it kind of makes sense, like we said about Omega and how she's just the problem.
Mm-hmm.
She's the sprite of the group. Jar Jar is the sprite of the group.
Yeah, that's true.
Except for Darth Jar Jar. Darth Jar Jar is pretty good.
Can you imagine Jar Jar mixed with like Yoda? The lay is yeah. I can't even do his voice. You do it so well. But can you imagine? That'd be so great.
I can't even do it right now.
It's hard. You know what what video game I wish got turned into an actual like TV series or a movie? Is the
Is it the one I'm thinking about?
possibly the oh my gosh, that's not Outlaws.
Is it
It's-
Fallen Order?
Yes, that one. I like that storyline. I think it's really cool. And the graphics and animation on that were just I know what you're thinking of with that, but it's not because of that. I just generally that's one of my favorite Star Wars video games.
It's a great game. I beat it.
Exactly.
I've played it.
It's like,
It's,
you know you like
it's
it.
great, but I know why. The reason why I'm laughing is because Cameron Monaghan played, in the Fallen
Cal.
Order. Yeah, he
Yeah.
played Cal. Cal's a great character.
I
Liked him
loved
inside
it.
Cal.
I loved his little droid too.
Oh, yeah. What was his droid's name?
I don't know. It made me think. Although it didn't always make me think of like Dora the Explorer with backpack because he always was on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Backpack.
I know.
Oh my God! What was his droid's name?
That's a good question. Let's find that out really quick.
But I think that would have been a really cool series. I think they could have done. I think it would have been really fun to watch. It was fun to play. Don't get me wrong. But I think it'd been cool if they turned that into an actual series
No, I completely agree.
and had the
BD1.
actor. There we go. Yes, BD1. That actor would have been also perfect for the casting because he did all of the action sequence. He did the.
Well,
full-
yeah, and that's
they-
literally
he
him.
Looks like him. It's
Yeah.
creepy. I remember. So the first time I ever played that video game, I played the first one, and I was like, why does this guy's voice and him look so familiar? And
Yeah.
it finally clicked. It was the guy from Shameless. He played Ian Gallagher, and I loved him in that. And I was like, oh my God, that makes so much more sense because I felt like I was going crazy
Yeah.
because I didn't know he was a part of it at all. I didn't know they took him literally for the franchise.
No, he did a great job with it.
Yeah.
I think that, they couldn't have really casted that one better.
No, and it would have been cool to see him play it in real life too.
Going through the planets, though.
Yeah.
That was really
Just the
cool.
detail that they had in that, I
The
think
side quests.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that game.
Yes.
I really enjoyed
it's
the game.
my favorite, besides the original Star Wars game that you had to play on, was it the game, not Game Boy, PlayStation. Wasn't that the first Star Wars game released
Yeah.
on that?
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites. And this
Battlefront?
I think so. And this,
Because that's when the limited edition PS4 came out.
Yes.
Because there was a game before that, but that one is one that kind of stuck with me. But it was an only online platform, which
Mm-hmm.
kind of sucked. But I did get that limited edition Darth Vader PS4. If anybody who's concerned or wondering, I do have it. It is beautiful and it still exists.
But yeah, I do think that would have been a really cool
Yes.
switch over to like a TV series.
No, I agree. I think out of all of the games, because like you said, there are quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
It was
It had enough detail in the video game that it could have had enough. They could have gone more in detail in the show.
Yeah,
or
I do agree.
I think a show would have been better. I don't think
show-
it would have done well as a movie.
it's too much content to be
A movie.
a movie.
Yeah.
And as much as I love it, and I'm not a big fan of part 1, part 2s.
Yeah.
Just turn it into a show.
Just do season 1 and season 2.
Exactly.
Don't cancel it after season 1 like they did with the
Please.
majority of them.
Please. That was a hard slap.
That
I'm
was
sorry.
aggressive.
I know. I'm wearing jeans today. It's a little loud.
But I know what you're referring to in regards to no, I'm not biased over just the actor himself.
She is biased. I can tell you a story, and here's story time.
Story time. Meh.
So, as conventions go, we've been in the game for quite some time. Courtney's gone to several of them with us, and several by herself, or with some other people, because had to live in a different state.
Oh, I was like, what? I went to one.
Still a good one because you were
didn't
talking
watch
to me
him-
most of the time.
I
anyways.
didn't watch him drool over a giant Pikachu blow up before we even got into the convention.
That's very true. But anyways, so last year at MegaCon down in Orlando, was fantastic. It really was. But we were in line, and was it for, I can't remember who we were in line for.
We weren't in a line for
Was
anyone.
it-
We were waiting to be taken to a line.
Oh, that's where we were.
And
Okay,
I wasn't
okay.
feeling great, so I had my emergency snackos.
Emergency snack being an orange that's unpeeled, just an orange.
I grabbed
And
it
this
last
lady
minute.
right here is
It
peeling an
wasn't
orange.
even like a cutie. It was like a full
It was
on
a
It was like
navel.
a full on navel orange.
She's peeling it and shoving it into her bag
I didn't want to drop
Raw
it.
dogging
Or
this
I didn't
bag.
have a trash can,
with an orange peel.
and my bag is my bag, so I can put whatever I want in it.
She made the whole perimeter around us smell like oranges.
Could have been worse smells.
It could have been. But out of all snacks that she chose, an orange.
Usually that's the first thing I go to if
And
I
then
need
she
an
went
instant
to
blood
a
sugar
trash can
raise.
after and just turned her bag over and started dumping it in front of people, like just staring at her in awe, like she's
And-
shaking her
No,
bag
I couldn't
vigorously.
dump it. I had to like pull it out because I couldn't dump the rest of the condiments out of my bag. That's not even the worst part of the story.
No, it gets worse. It gets better. Actually, it gets better. So, speaking of the man himself, Cameron Monaghan was actually at the convention doing signings, and at this time that she was peeling apart her orange, respectfully. I will add, she was doing it respectfully. She wasn't doing it like a heathen that she is. She was very engrossed in this.
It wasn't peeling well.
Cameron Monaghan walks past us.
Like right by me.
Right by. I mean, literally in touch. She could have touched him if she wanted.
And I like saw him out of my peripheral, and I was like, nah, that's not him.
And this girl, the entire day, was saying she wanted to meet him. She wanted to see him, and she knew exactly what she was going to say. She wanted an autograph. But how she wanted it, she was going to go up to him and go, "Can you autograph my face with your lips?"
I don't have much of a filter.
No. But as this man walks by and we're like, "Hey, it's him," she's like, "Nah, it's not him. It's
No,
not him
y'all
at all."
said nothing to me. You watched me like contemplate whether or not that was him because I was like, there's no way he's just walking right by us to go somewhere. Like that doesn't make sense.
And I'm like, talk to him. Say hi.
With, like,
Because people
one-
are like next to him, like, "Hey, hi,
With
how
like
you
one
doing?"
security. He had like
Yeah,
no one else
no,
with him.
it was just him. And like a lot of people were walking right past him, not realizing who he was.
But I'm like doing this and like watching him, and I was like, no, it's not him. The
And I'm
entire
like,
time just tracking him.
Talk to him. You are the out of both of us, out of anybody here, you are the most friendly, and you will talk to anything. And she's reclusing back into the wall.
I was
She's
second
hiding.
guessing
She's like,
myself because
"No."
my luck, I'd be like, "Are you Cameron?" And he's like, "Nah." I'm like, "Okay, sorry," but I was also aggressively eating this orange, so I wasn't really in any kind of like stance to be like, "Hello, apple."
No thanks.
What if he had an allergy to it? I couldn't give him mouth to mouth.
You would have tried.
I would kill them worse.
You would have been shoving. You would have.
Hunter, do it, and then I like give chest compressions. Because I think I gave you a bite of the orange. I technically
Yeah.
hadn't eaten it yet, so it would have been fine. But my hands could have technically done worse things.
If we meet him, I'm asking, "Hey, are you allergic to oranges?" He's gonna be so confused. He's not gonna know.
That's the
weirdest
first-
question. Like well, it's gonna be memorable. Hey, this one time
Just
I was
give
in
him
Florida
a whole-
and some chick asked me if I was allergic to oranges.
Just give him a whole navel orange. Here you go.
She was wondering because she wanted to give you mouth to mouth.
He would have been dropped dead. I would have tried to help. I know CPR. I'm certified. Would have been backfiring if if he was allergic to the thing I had ingested that day.
It's like you trying to Avada Kedavra me with a cinnamon stick.
It would work. I'd be a wizard for one time.
She almost did it today.
I was a straw with cinnamon attached to it. I would have been a wizard for one time. Come on, you can't say you wouldn't do that with a piece of meat. Technically, you'd have to shove it
I would throw a steak at her.
in my mouth, but
It'd be cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Ooh, I'm sorry. That was a lot. The one time that Jay does clapping right, it's only during this show.
To be fair, I wasn't the weirdest
fair.
thing that happened at the convention. We lost my cousin, and he was sniffing candles.
You were in charge of him.
He's 21 at the time. He wasn't just a child. He's a child to us. But he was 21, and he left us, and I didn't notice fast enough. And
Actually, I
then,
think he was 22.
no, I don't know. Either way, not under
He
the
was
age
an
of
adult
18.
adult.
He was not under the age of 18. But we couldn't find him, and I literally found him at a convention buying a candle.
Yes, out
That
of all
he
places.
says now to this day is the worst candle he's ever bought. So I'm like, wow, a candle at a convention? That doesn't work. Imagine how that works. It's like Sony. See your face. But yeah, it was an interesting convention. I, of course, made a fool of myself. And as we're standing in line to meet people, we're like packed like sardines, and I'm just eating this orange. I also had an emergency pack of Gushers in there. And no, I had gummy bears. I did share those.
Yes, you did. You did share
I
those.
had everything I needed.
That's what was in the plastic baggie, because you didn't have them. They weren't in an actual bag of, like, Harborough. They were in a plastic baggie.
Because I ripped open the bag too aggressively and had to put them somewhere else. And I didn't want to put my orange peels, but I hadn't eaten the gummy bears yet. There is a system.
There are rules.
But the amount of people that were giving me death stares over eating that orange, I was like, what? I could be ordering like pork rinds. That would be gross. Or Funyuns. Come on. I gotta have worse things. I was being healthy.
Yeah, how dare you be healthy in a room full of nerds?
I know that is very accurate.
How dare you?
I thought it would have been worse.
How dare you not be eating Cheetos
It would have been worse if I
and
passed out.
Doritos with a Coke?
It would have been worse if I passed out, because that was a high chance of happening if I didn't eat that orange.
Oh, look, she's down.
I fainted at the sight of these people.
Cameron, help.
Mouth to mouth now.
Me, I'm just like decking people away, pushing them. No.
Let her help us. You specifically pick me up and carry me and drop me on the table. Help her.
You help.
You are a Jedi. Come on.
She needs an autograph with your mouth.
Use the Force. Use your Force powers to save her. You do know I'm not really a Jedi. Use it.
Do it now. Do it.
Pure chaos could have been interrupted. But yes, I think I thought that was a pretty cool pickup line. Sign my
was.
face with your lips. That's a pretty good line.
It was.
I don't know how well it would have worked. I could have gotten a signature. It just might have been on the shredding order.
If she's the first one to get one.
Hayden Christensen and who plays Loki? Tom Hiddleston were both there. It would have been worth it.
They were.
It would have been worth it.
They were there, but they were in the back.
Yeah, they were hidden from us.
Yeah, they hide them.
They hide them in the very back, and their lines were like so long.
Well, yeah, they were sold out tickets, and they were like over $200 just to see them. And it's like, as much as I want to spend $200
because
just
they
to
did
touch
pictures
you,
and signatures, which is pretty cool.
I don't
And
think I want to pay someone to touch them, and I don't like touching in the first place.
So you're not a hooker.
That's someone paying me to touch them.
So coming into next week.
Hold on. Time out. We totally missed out on Skeleton Crew, my friend.
Oh yeah.
We have not touched on that. I've been waiting very patiently to talk about this great show.
Well, we can talk about it more once it finishes.
That's true. I've been watching it. It's a great show.
Fantastic. But next week we are going into the holidays, and it's going to be Christmas when our next one will air. We're debating of when we're going to post it. It'll be a holiday episode.
It's going to be the holiday,
It's going to look a little different.
We're going to have a treat. Not that one.
That
It's going to look better, I promise.
That one struggles. But it'll be pretty fun. We'll talk about our favorite Christmas movies, Christmas holidays, all the fun things.
Yes.
I do think that'll be great. Bring us in the spirit. If you are not a Christmas person,
happy holidays.
Kwanzaa. Hanukkah. Do they say happy Kwanzaa or Merry Kwanzaa? It sounds better. It's happy Kwanzaa. Is it even a happy anything?
I don't know. Happy holidays,
Feliz
folks.
Navidad.
On that note,
That's still Merry Christmas.
Bye, guys.